Welcome to ACD Combatives, your combatives and control tactics channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. Hi, it's Coach Kurt. Sorry I haven't put a video out recently. As you know or may not know, I have a trainee with me just about ready to finish up Phase 3 of FTEP. And when I'm working with a trainee, I'm pretty much giving them 110%. I don't have time to do video stuff. This video is super important, handcuffing a resisting opponent. And in my mind, the best place to do that from is from mount. We're not going to discuss how to get to mount because that is just as important, if not more important. But how do you get to mount and hold mount is just as important. And if you can't get somebody to the ground and hold them in a position of control, and you see I have the 100-second rule up on the, and that is mostly from Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I'm stealing that concept from them. But what is a normal Jiu-Jitsu or MMA concept is positional control. You have to be able to hold that position and not be in a hurry to go submission. Position before submission. And in this case, handcuffing is the submission. So position before handcuffing. You cannot go straight to it or you'll probably lose it because they are bucking, kicking, and rolling. But to reiterate, you have to be able to get to the mount. Now, there are other awesome positions to handcuff from, like side control via the Kimura, bent arm lock. We'll be covering the sister to the Kimura in this video, the Americana, and we're going to be covering the gift wrap. But if you don't train regularly on how to take somebody down and master the takedown from the clinch range, or even from the punching range where they punch at you and you cover up and protect yourself and take them down, then you're only getting half the job done. So here I am in what I would call side control, and I have him in a gift wrap position. I've even snatched up his leg, and this is that positional control, and I'm simulating that I'm talking to the opponent, talking to the bad guy. That is a huge part of handcuffing is de-escalation. You can de-escalate by talking to the individual. They are most likely in their lizard brain, and they are resisting, maybe not even because they want to, but because it's instinct. When somebody is trying to conquer you and physically control you, you resist. It's a human nature. So if you can have positional control, snap them out of their lizard brain, that's half the battle right there. So here we are, and I'm getting into a high mount. This is the mount position. And see those little slaps? I call that the V8. You're not trying to knock anybody out. Those are little distractional slaps, so they will put their arms up to protect their face. And here I am showing you positional control from a high mount, and I'm doing those little slaps. Again, I call it the V8. They're slap. I like just slapping the forehead. It causes them to instinctively want to protect their face. Not because you're really actually hurting them, because you're distracting them. And then that gives you the leverage you need. You snatch up their arm. And that is super important, not to use more force than is necessary. It needs to be objectively reasonable force. So I do the V8 slap. They put their arms up to protect themselves, and there you go. I can snatch. Now, there's one of two directions from this. This is the Americana direction, what I talked about. I can go into an Americana arm lock, and I'm just dislodging the head, taking strength away from them so I can get into the Americana. I have entire videos on how to do the Americana. Here's that demonstration again. It's a perfect L shape. I can use an elbow if I have to, but that's absolutely not necessary. I'm just showing you that is strikes. Now, you see my left leg. I'm hooking her leg. That's also kind of an important concept. It locks you onto your opponent so they can't buck you off, which they might do instinctively because their arm is being twisted. And the other direction you can go is the gift wrap, and that's just as awesome to me, the gift wrap. Here I am going under the head, grabbing the arm, and it's like a bent arm around their face. You're wrapping them up like a gift, hence the term gift wrap. I think some schools call it twisted arm control or something like that. I think that's a Gracie thing. But this is a gift wrap position. I'm showing that it's a very strong position. You can strike from there. That's why it's so popular in MMA and self-defense. But you, as a police officer, are rarely going to need to do that. Reasonably objective force. Remember that. So here I am in the gift wrap position. You can turn the person to their belly or holding them on their side because they're instinctively going to want to roll against you. I just got the Kimura grip. I'll talk more about that later. I let go of it because I didn't want to hurt her shoulder because it's a very powerful lock. But that's basically it in a nutshell. Here I am with Aiken. A different cut. There's that positional control. He's trying to instinctively want to shove me off, so I'm just holding the mount, talking to him in a high mount, and he's going to instinctively want to push me off. There's those V8 slaps again to get his arms up, and there I am in the classic Americana. I'm showing another angle. I'm going to the gift wrap. Again, those are my two favorite go-tos, the Americana and in the gift wrap. Here I am in the gift wrap. You could, again, sit there and talk to the bad guy. It's just a warrant. You're just going to jail. No big deal. Here's that Kimura grip, and I'm switching to a Kimura lock, but I'm not actually going to do it. I was just quick demonstrating it. This video is not going to really cover Kimura. Amazing position, but a little too complicated for most officers who are not going to actually take the time to train jiu-jitsu. So I usually just talk about the mount position, the Americana, and the gift wrap. But know that there's so much more out there if you're training, and you're going to get so much more comfortable. So there I am. He's pushing. I pop the arm off, and I got that gift wrap. Man, I love that gift wrap. There's that Americana grip or lock. It's called a figure 4 lock in catch wrestling or some MMA schools, and it's super important. See, the whole reason this works so well is he's pushing you off. I'm getting positional control with that high mount. I'm shoving that arm down. I'm even shoving the other arm down, and I'm holding him, trapping him down here, and there's that, I'm going to talk to you. He's like, screw you, I'm not going to jail. Well, fine. Here I am going to the Americana, simulating that he is still resisting, so I just do a bent arm and go to the gift wrap. You could also dismount from this position. See, here I am just getting off. Maybe you don't feel comfortable there. Maybe he's super strong. Maybe he's on something. You're like, screw this. I'm getting to my tools. And you're not comfortable enough on the ground. So you dismount. Here I'm showing that from another side. I could get up and dismount. But in this case, I'm locking him with that gift wrap position. Again, I'm showing that you can strike from there if you had to, but this is law enforcement, not MMA, so it's rare that you would need to or could justify it. Reasonable force, objectively reasonable force. We know this. And here I am just dropping him into a side control position. I still have the gift wrap. I'm still talking to him, and I transition to a mount. And I roll him to his stomach. I'm going to use verbal commands for him to get that arm up. And we'll talk more about what if he says, screw you, we'll make the arm come up. But a lot of times at that point, they realize they've lost, and they generally will follow your voice commands. But we will talk about what if they don't. Here I am, much more basic demonstration of the mount position. Here I was showing you that if you're sitting on his hips, you're too low, and they can buck you off. See how I did the distraction V8 strikes? I came to a high mount so I can do positional control, position before submission. I'm demonstrating that I'm holding the mount. He's trying to buck me off or punch on me or push me off. There's those V8s and bam, bent elbow, perfect Americana lock. And I'm using, see my right leg kind of hooked his leg a little bit. That's to hold me on the position. So if he bucks, I don't get pushed off. There I am demonstrating the Americana lock on the opposite side. Some schools just call it a key lock, and it doesn't matter what direction you go. And there's the bent arm handcuffing position for mount. It is like peanut butter and jelly with the Americana. You don't need to use Americana to go to it, but it's awesome. Here I am demonstrating it again, just going straight to the bent arm lock, or chicken wing as a lot of people call it, and I'm trapping it down with my leg. I can give him commands to give me his other arm, and perfect control. Again, you do not rush to that. It's position before submission or position before handcuffing. The V8 slaps, I'm doing the chicken wing arm lock for handcuffing. Here I am trapping it with the other leg. Give me your other hand, sir. Boom, handcuffing. I'll show you how to handcuff from a standard arm bar. Standard arm bar is not my go-to for law enforcement, but sometimes you end up there. So I've broken the guard. I'm doing the knee slice pass. Underhook is super important. That's in another video. Scarf hold to a standard side control. And then I say I lock the guy with a Kimura. And he says, I give up. So I'm going to switch to a rear side control, remount or mount, establish a high guard or a high mount. he's like faking the funk and he's resisting again. So I'm doing those subtle strikes just to get him to protect his face. You're not trying to hurt him. And then you're switching to an S mount. And once you control the arm, you're switching to an S mount, drop, and you're putting your knees together very tight. Everything's got to be tight. Your hips to his shoulder, there's no room for mistakes here. You have to keep it tight. And then down into an arm bar. And you do this from another angle. Again, this is from an S mount. It's super important. So you've got control of his arm. You see how I do a cross control, and I'm just subtly sliding up into that S mount. I'm opening my hips so I can slide down into a arm bar. Opening your hips with your right leg here, at least in this side. I'm using my right leg. I'll demonstrate again. See how my leg's coming up, the other one's going around the corner. Again, S mount, see how my hips open when I plop down, and then I pinch everything super tight. Knees tight together, and I'm lowering into the arm bar. And this is how you transition to the handcuff. I'm bending the arm over, and I'm doing a tactical get up or a variation of the tactical get up and sliding into a mount again. It can be a little loosey-goosey from there, but you have to be quick. And then you go into standard arm bar from mount. Let's do this again. Was pushing against me, so I smother him with my body, sliding into that S. We're going to see how I'm opening my hip. Super important, so you can easily transition into the arm bar. You got to be super tight. This is what I like to do. I like to collect the other arm. It helps trap him together and keep more control. I got the arm bar and straight into the tactical get up I was telling you about, or a variation of that, so you can remount. In here, I just go straight to the standard arm bar from mount, or the handcuffing from mount, excuse me. Demonstrate this again, because this is important. High mount. I'm collecting the arm. You could do other techniques from here, but for whatever reason you feel like you need to go into an arm bar. I'm putting my weight over so I don't fall back. I hook my legs in really tight, gather that arm. That's what I like to do. See how I'm saying pinching, really important to pinch, and going straight down into the arm bar. Now his elbow should be digging into your right leg, not straight down into your groin. Common mistake with beginners. So again, I do the tactical get up or a variation of it for this, remount, and then I can do the standard handcuffing if necessary. One more time from this angle. Doing my strikes for distraction, opening up that hip. See how my leg lays over? I'm opening that hip up so I can easily lay my other leg over. And I'm pinching, going straight down into that arm bar. Again, the arm goes south towards his feet. I'm doing a technical get up variation and remounting.
Inconceivable! You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out.